my channel, The Transparent Homeschool. My name is Beth, and if you are new here, I make homeschooling content on my channel. I have 4 kiddos. We homeschool 3 of them, and I haven't made a video in a while. We went through a family crisis in September and October, which landed my husband in the hospital for 3.5 weeks. He's home now, and we're starting to kind of heal from that. But overall, this was kind of, that's why I have not been making any content recently. But I did want to jump on, and this video specifically, I do want to talk about how we continued to homeschool through that challenge. Because like it or not, we're human, things happen, and just because you have a great plan and doesn't mean things aren't going to happen where you have to kind of pivot and adjust. So that's what I wanted to kind of just jump on here in this video and really just kind of talk about how we made it through still homeschooling and keeping on track, yet adjusting where we needed to. So all of that to be said, the first thing that we need to do is make sure that we have an organized plan somewhere. It doesn't have to be a planner. It can be a sheet of paper that kind of has, you know, all of the things that you need to do that week or that day or whatever it is, however you keep track of your homeschool. You do need to have a plan because in our case, my mother and my sister helped out a lot. They are not part of our homeschool, so they don't know like the rhythms that we have or like what subjects people do at what times. So that's why it's really important to have them written down somewhere so that everybody knows what is expected. So for example, this is the week. This is one of the weeks where I was at the hospital all day with my husband, and you can see everything is written out that people need to do on specific days they need to do them. And yes, my children do know the routines of school. It was nice to have something here that an adult could look at and say, this is the page that we're doing today, and then we could go on from there. Now, I did get calls from my mother and sister asking like specific questions about this, but it was here for them to reference, and it was really helpful to know that we weren't getting behind and the children weren't taking advantage of mom not being there. It was written down like as a plan, and this was what was expected of them to do. Having said that, though, there were things that I did give my mom and my sister permission to kind of tweak, change, or just altogether cut out if necessary. Like I said, it was a bit different since I wasn't doing it, so it was a little bit of a disruption to the school day. And so if things got too complicated or overwhelming, whatever it was, I just said, you know, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, well, they will live if they don't do their science unit this week, you know, something like that. So that would be number 2. Number 1, have a plan written out so that everyone knows what's expected of them. But number 2, kind of like almost the opposite of that, is just be flexible, right? Because everybody is adjusting to kind of what the day brings. Because when you're going through something like our family did, you can really only take things one day at a time. And so to have flexibility yet have a plan is a really perfect way to just seamlessly carry your homeschool through those really hard seasons. And so that's what we did. They did kind of the expected things were their Bible studies, their Bible copy work, and then math and language arts. But as far as like history and science, if they did it, that's great. If not, I'm not gonna be too caught up about it. So just remember, if you find yourself in a season where things are overwhelming, or if somebody has to go to the hospital or someone gets sick, something like that, your family still can homeschool. You just have to have a plan and you have to be flexible, because those two things together, even though they're kind of opposite, they really work together to make the most seamless transition from day to day in your homeschool. So don't be afraid to be overly descriptive in your plan. But then also make sure you have that freedom to take things off the table if you need to make things a shorter work day, or if you have some extra time, maybe try to make up some things. But pick like 3 or 4 things that you know every day your children have to do, and do those. And if other things get done, that's great. If not, that's fine too. Really think about, in a time of crisis or in a time of upheaval where things kind of aren't the norm, pick a few subjects that you want to make sure that your children do every single day, and that is going to help you to keep on track, to take the stress out of homeschooling completely through this kind of an up and down situation, and really just be thankful that there is someone there that you can trust to get the work done. And like I said, even if it's someone who is not you, who's never homeschooled before, having this plan is very encouraging because it tells them what lesson to do on what day, what pages it is. Have a talk with your kids. Have them be honest, have them have integrity to do the work that they know they need to do. But then also give the adult who is teaching them the freedom to change things around if they want to. So that's just really what I wanted to jump on here and say super quickly. One, this is why I haven't made content in a while, because we were going through one of these seasons of just craziness. And two, make sure you have a plan for those seasons where you're not able to homeschool personally. Maybe someone else has to do it because you have some things that you need to deal with. And then three, have flexibility to be willing to take things off of the schedule if need be, but make sure you have about 3 or 4 things every day that your children have to do. That way you know that they're at least staying consistent in some things. The things that are not as important, you can kind of be a little bit more flexible with. So that's my piece. That's that. And I will see you guys in my next video really soon. Bye.